This is week number 2, and at the Salus we spoke about the second stage of Erikson's. We use for our 2-hour session the second stage, which is, let me show it to you now, it is autonomy versus shame and doubt, and the only way to actually overcome that is with using willpower. So is it okay to be me in the end? This is like the very existential question. This is from the age of 1 and 3, and God, this has been absolutely an amazing day, and we've worked in different ways about the sense of autonomy. So by the age of between the age of 1 and 3, a child learns to walk for the first time, leaves the hands of the parents. It can sort of like walk around and is willing to discover new things and touch new things. It's all learning for him. And of course, one of the favorite words that either he or she learns or that he or she uses is the word no. Don't do that, don't touch that, no, no, no. And at the same time, whenever you're asking your child something, this first and straight answer is no. Do you want to eat some veg? No. Do you want to go to bed? No. There's a lot of no, because that's in a way, and the way how the child actually shows his own sense of autonomy and his own sense of identity. At the same time, between the age of 1 and 3 is the moment of and the period of the potty training. And this is one of the things that of course creates a sense of shame in the child. And not only the potty training, but also it's trying to walk, and maybe they fall and somebody laughed and started making comments, and this is the way in which, of course, the child using the new parts of the brains which are, of course, expanding and developing, he learns to understand that he's called in a certain way and with a certain voice inflection depending on what he does. And one of the first things that we do, of course, we call them the good girl, the good boy, or a bad girl, or a bad boy. And of course, this is the period in which the child learns labeling. Labeling means you are wrong somehow, or you have to act in a certain way, you have to be in a certain way to be accepted in the family and in the group of the family. So one of the works that we have done, I don't know if you're able to see this, is actually this is the jumper that I used on Tuesday, last Tuesday. Let me see if I can actually be able to show some of the labels, if you can read them. So this is how the people that I'm working with label them. They put all the they wrote all the labels and they put all the labels on themselves. And what I've been doing, I've actually used and taken one of the labels per person that I'm working with. And this is what, of course, right, wrong, who knows, but still it's stuck in their minds, so it must be important for them. Being called a junkie bitch, or waste of space, a mess, you're thick, you're a nuisance, you're nasty, you're a loser, you're the biggest bastard under the sun, or a fat ginger poof, or a mess, or a thick, or an arsehole, Miss Falafar, a waste of time, waste of space, and it's sad. I'm always very moved every time I do this exercise on stage number 2 about autonomy. I'm always extremely moved by this labeling, and not just the labels that, of course, other people gave us, because of course we all had them, but also the labels that we keep on giving ourselves until we realize that actually, whoa, why am I saying this to myself? I went through a phase, for example, in which I used a lot, oh, you silly bitch, silly woman, stupid woman, come on, do something, you stupid. It's not nice, because of course our brain doesn't understand irony, it doesn't understand the fact that we might actually just tell ourselves a joke, and so not good. Labeling is not good, neither the labels that we've been given from the outside or the labels that, of course, we put on ourselves. And so this is one of the exercises that we have been doing about the fact of the shame and the doubt. Shame is very different from guilt. The stage of guilt, and we're going to be talking about guilt this coming Tuesday, tomorrow. Guilt is, of course, something that you have done, which is considered by the society as being morally morally wrong. Shame is who you think you are. I am wrong, I don't fit into this. Or I'm such a good girl because I'm always called the good girl, I'm called the princess, and I have to live up to that expectation in order to be keep on called a princess and being accepted by daddy, for example. So particularly heavy session. What I've been actually using to make them understand, of course, the sense of the passing of time. I don't know if you ever watched Tim. I think it is, if I remember right, it's Tim Urban, his website, which is Wait But Why, and he gave an incredible TED talk about procrastination. So what I did, I've been using the same concept that he has used. If you're able to see this, let me see if I can actually show you. Can you see those little squares? Each one of these squares is actually a week. So the end of the blue line here is where I am now, my age, or at least the week when I did, of course, this exercise. Then if you're going down here, this is the age of 56 when my dad passed away. And at the end of the green line in here, this is when my mom passed away at her age, of course, of 71. So this gives somehow an idea week by week. Of course, every single line in this graph is 52 squares. So it's an average of 52 weeks, of course, per year. And if you can see it in this way, supposing that I'm lucky enough to live up to the age of 90, of course the whole white is from the age of 71 down basically to the age of 90. And so you can actually see it's 48, 56, 71 and down to the age of 90. So of course somebody sees it like this and you think, I mean, it gives you a concept and an idea of time and the time that is passing, and the fact that you have 2 hours now every week for 8 weeks to dedicate to an in-depth study, of course, all the stages of Erikson's. You know, next week, as I said, this coming Tuesday, we're going to be talking about initiative, and then it's going to be industry, and then sense of identity, intimacy, generativity, and then ego integrity as the last one. But of course there is a different thing if instead of actually looking the passing of time like this, you see it. Let me see if I can actually show it properly. Somehow, yes, like this. Of course, this is really all the blue that is already gone. Up to the age of 90. And when you see it like this, you think, yes, of course there is, because of course I'm working with people who are young, but also people who are roughly on average my age, or you know, a plus or minus 5 years. And it gives a sense of time, a sense of course you are never too old. This is one of my mantras. You're never too old to start again. You're never too old to try new things, to learn new things, to show that actually you are always worth of love and belonging, as of course Brené Brown says. One of the things that we did in order, of course, because being the second lessons, we'll start learning to know each other and learning about our history and what is important to us. I've also been using Orion Mountain Dreamer's poem. I don't know if you've ever heard about it. Don't worry, because I will put all the links, of course, down in the description. This is the poem, which of course I've printed, and I've given a copy to the people. So it doesn't interest me what you do for a living. It doesn't interest me how old you are, because of course we are talking about the passing of time. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon, or because I want to know, she says, if you have touched the center of your own sorrow. So it's quite a long poem, so I've asked them to read it and then to come back to me and tell me which part actually stood out for them. And I've noticed how most of the time there are 2 passages that stood up. One that says, I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty. I want to know if you are able to see beauty even when it's not pretty. you know, in their life of course has been hard. I'm not saying that it's harder than any other people, but of course their lives has been hard, and this is something that stood up for them. Are you able to see beauty now that you are allegedly clean, even though it's a word that I don't like, because of course they've never been dirty before, but I mean this is a terminology that they tend to use. So can they see beauty? Will they be able to see beauty? And the second passage is, it doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children, which is a passage to me so important because it means responsibility. So we might be working for 2 hours a week. They are, of course, in a center where they're sheltered and protected for their own self-development and their own self-protection and their own self-care, which is absolutely amazing. But after all the nights of distress and the nights of grief and the despair and the working on yourselves, etc., are you able anyway to get up in the morning and go to work? Once you're out, can you take full on your responsibilities and be this magic and amazing and wonderful person, this shiny, as of course as a practice in Buddhism I would say, this shiny bodhisattva? Can you show your shiny bodhisattva to the world? Because this is what the world is waiting to see. And of course I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I do have one of the people that I work with that he said to me one day something that is really, really important. He says, you know, we are given all these plans and all this coaching, you know, for all these things that needs to be done. We've got our days is planned, you know, from 9 to 5, like the song. So we've got everything, but what happens after 5 o'clock? Because a lot of them are really scared. What happens when I'm just by myself after 5 o'clock? When all my volunteering, all my plans, all my meetings have gone and I'm fine by myself. 5 o'clock in the evening. So I've got to feel time. I've got to feel my space. I've got to make sure that everything is in place so that I don't fall apart. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. Thank you very much for watching also this video. I'm really, really happy. Please, if there is any question or if anything else that you would like to know, just ask me. As I always say, these sessions, even though the frame is of course the same for every single series of workshops, because I'm following the 8 stages, every single session is different because it depends on the people that I am with. So this is why these videos are so also true. Because I'm just getting the feedback from the people that I'm working with. As again, thank you very much. If there is any question, if there are any questions, any information that you would like to know, please just send me messages. Just check on the Facebook page or on the website. And please take care out there. Thank you.